before, my name is Renetta English. I'm the second vice chair. I'm subbing for our wonderful chair, Mr. Philip Pappas, that couldn't be here today. So welcome. So the first thing that we're going to start with is our roll call, and we're going to roll call all of our community board members, and we'll start it with our secretary here, Edmund Rosenbaum.
Ann Brown. Abba Buendia. Mr. Das. Sonia Davis Roberts. Vivian Dock. Margaret Dozier. Renetta English. Mr. Gandhi. Patricia Glunt. Pastor Peter Herron. Lorinda Hooks. Kevin Hughes. Present. Joyce Julian. Nabraj Casey. Edward Kiernan. Stephen Kulhanek. Marta Liberton. Here. Carlos Andres Lopez. Here. Harry Mack. Bill Meehan. Lisa Masulam. Yes. Richard Mink. Here. Ralph Moreno. Yes. Richard Mullings. Laverne Nimmons. Here. Veronica Eng. Nuala O'Doherty. Philip Pappas. Esteban Peralta. Ladisla Perez. Here. Dorothy Phelan. Here. Fausto Rodriguez. Jairo Rodriguez. Yes. Leoncio Romero. Edwin Rosenbaum, I'm here. David Rosero. Lapsang Salaka. Aga Mohammed Saleh. Jimmy Smith. Marlene Tapper. Frank Taylor. Arthur Tyler. Yeah. Chanel Thomas. Pat Thorpe. Hamlet Wallace. Here. Toy Washington Simon. Here. Edwin Wesley. Here. Camilo Zamora.
All right, everyone. So for going forward, as per our chair, so that's the first thing that we're going to do a little differently in our meetings beginning in January. We're going to start with the roll call. All right, and as you all requested, you wanted to start at 7:30. So today we have started at 7:30. So we're raring and ready to go. All right, so the first thing, oh, Philip, but that's for you on YouTube, right? All right, so the first thing that we'll do is, as you know, we'll start with public participation, where our speaker will have 3 minutes, and there'll be time to give their spiel to you. So the first speaker will be Gary from Together We Can, and there's no questions for our public participation session. Yes, you could take the mic over there.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity for sharing information about our organization. We are a brand new non-for-profit, and we are located right off of 90th Street and Junction Boulevard. The name of our organization is Together We Can. We are housed in the WellCare building. We work in collaboration with WellCare, and what our organization is about is we connect the community members with resources, mostly like city-provided resources like SNAP enrollment, public housing, mental health counseling, and also we have other resources like low-cost legal counseling and anything that we can provide for the community. We do everything in our power to connect the community members with. We also have another component of running youth groups. Every month we run a youth group, and what we do for the youth of the community is connect them with more career opportunities. We bring in community leaders from the community of Jackson Heights and Elmhurst and share best practices with the youth. We also support the youth to enroll in college, help them with the application process, provide them support with the financial aid process, like helping them filling out FAFSA, so on and so forth. All of those we cover in the youth group part. And the final part of our organization is we also do community events. We partner with local faith-based institutions and other community-based organizations and do back-to-school drives and holiday drives, toy drives. All of these we are undertaking. Our long-term goal is to have a community center here for the Jackson Heights and Elmhurst community so that the community can come in and utilize all the services like a single stop center. Eventually, we want to have caseworkers at the community center so that we'll be able to process all the requests right at our center. Thank you again, and we have our flyers and cards here. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you, Gary. So our next speaker is Thomas Machuli, talking about the 7-train congestion from the proposed Amazon HQ2. And you have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. I bring the issue of Amazon HQ2 moving to Queens to Community Board 3 and the residents here, as it will have a negative, long-lasting effect on the community. We're facing a housing and affordability crisis, a transit crisis. We're going to see expedited gentrification throughout Queens with this sudden move. Community Board 3 residents will absorb a host of problems, including traffic congestion, new developments, and skyrocketing rents. I attended Mayor de Blasio's town hall last night, where he was grilled by attendees over this secretive HQ2 deal. He could not answer basic questions about the DOE being kicked out of their building for Amazon to move in, why Jeff Bezos gets a helipad when New Yorkers can't get to work on time because of delays, why they gave up land for 1,500 new affordable housing units in the process. He claimed that even though he supports the abolition of ICE, that he had no idea Amazon is complicit in ICE's human rights abuses, that they profit off facial recognition software. Of all our representatives, 3 stand out to me who are taking a strong stance for the community against Amazon right now. First, Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz has spoken in opposition to Amazon, joining us at rallies, and most recently at Community Board 2, meeting saying Amazon is not welcome here today, not welcome here tomorrow, not welcome here ever. Congresswoman-elect Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has taken the time to speak with community groups to let us know what we can do on a federal level to stop this, everything from antitrust laws to congressional hearings, citing that Amazon's dismal labor practices include toxic workplace environments where workers are overworked and underpaid, not given proper benefits, and blocked from unionizing. Third, State Senator Jessica Ramos, along with Queens Assemblymember Ron Kim, have introduced a 3-pronged legislative package that puts the interest of New Yorkers over corporations. On the other hand, we have Councilmember Constantinides, who signed a letter along with Joe Crowley and other elected officials inviting Amazon to New York City. But he recently attended an anti-Amazon event saying that we should have a vigorous city council process and a Euler process. Councilman Moya suggests that we have an independent study on the impact of the Amazon deal as it will affect communities along the 7-train in terms of economics, transit, housing, and infrastructure. He seemed perturbed by the bypassing of city council review, Euler process, but his opposition has pretty much ended there. Assemblywoman Simotis only attended an initial rally. Dan Decker's office simply said they're concerned about the increased traffic and lack of public transit capacity. I just want to say we need our electeds to stand as strong as Ocasio, Ramos, and Cruz, create legislation, demand process, join town halls, protest so that we as residents can beat this deal as a united front with no negotiations and no concessions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Thomas. So now, everyone, we're going into our public information session, and a little different this time going forward, starting this month and going for 2019. Each speaker in our public information session and in our public hearings will have ability to ask 3 questions only, okay? And you'll definitely line up over there after the person has given their presentation, 3 per individual. And if you need to speak to most of those speakers, they'll be here after the meeting, so you can definitely engage with them. Because today we definitely have to finish a little early because of our wonderful holiday celebration. So I know that Councilmember Dromm was our first speaker, but he couldn't be here today. And I don't see Councilman Constantinides. And I know we also had Moya. All right. Okay. And then we also had Inspector Ortiz from the 115 Precinct. So who does that leave us with? FDNY, please come on up. Thank you very much.
You know we can all rely on the FDNY, right? Of course. So my name's Lieutenant Mike Cosa. I'm with the FDNY Fire Safety Education Unit. I just want to talk real briefly about some holiday safety, some general fire safety, what we're seeing right now, some of the fire trends that we're seeing. So in the last 2 weeks, we've had 4 fatalities in 3 different fires. We had 2 in Queens and 1 in Brooklyn where 2 young children lost their lives. 2 of the 3 fires had something in common. Neither one of them had a working smoke alarm in their home, okay? So what they're saying now is about 80% of the people that die in a fire today do not have a working smoke alarm. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having working smoke alarms in your home. They recommend a combination smoke and carbon monoxide alarm on every level of your home, plus a smoke only in every bedroom. So please ensure that you do meet those requirements to keep yourself and your family safe. If you do not have or cannot install or cannot afford alarms, the Red Cross, along with the FDNY Foundation, have a program going on called Sound the Alarm. Okay, you could go online to Sound the Alarm, or you can call 877-RED-CROSS, and you can sign up, and the Red Cross will come to your home and they will install the smoke alarms for free. Okay, the whole program is free, and they will install, like I said, 1 on every level of your home, plus 1 in every bedroom. So it's a great program to take advantage of. It's obviously only going to go on as long as they have the funding and the alarms for it. So I would definitely take advantage of that program. Generally, during this time, what we see a lot of is a lot of electrical fires, a lot of fires with home heating equipment, with space heaters, heating blankets, electric fires, stuff like that. So real briefly, I just want you to just take some general precautions with electric heating items. If you're going to use a space heater in your home, not a problem. Try and get one that does have an automatic shut-off in case it does tip over. It will shut off by itself. Also, you want to run the heater in the room that you're going to heat while you're still awake. Once you go to sleep, you should be shutting off and unplugging that heater. It should not be running all night long while you're sleeping. Okay? Same thing with the heating blanket. You want to heat up your bed before you go to sleep. Once you go to sleep, you should be unplugging and shutting off that electric blanket. Okay? The blanket should be sitting on top of the mattress, not in between the mattress and the box spring. All right? And the other major rule of thumb that we do emphasize is any items that heat or cool should be plugged directly into the wall. All right? What a lot of people are doing is they're using extension cords to keep those space heaters as close to the bed as possible. Not a safe practice. Anything that heats or cools draws a tremendous amount of power. You want to make sure that you plug it directly into the wall outlets. Okay? We have a lot of information. If you go to fdnysmart.org, a lot of information on the different types of fires. But generally, that is what we're seeing right now, a lot of electrical fires and a lot of fire fatalities from the lack of smoke alarms in the home. So we do go to the schools. We go to schools on a regular basis. We come around. We go to classroom, teaching the children about fire safety. And we come by with a smokehouse a couple weeks later, and we allow the children to go through this simulation, a fire simulation, so that they can feel what it's like to be in a fire, have an idea of what it's like, and they can practice getting out of their home if it is on fire. So we teach them to stay low, to feel the door for heat. There is smoke inside and stuff like that, so it's a good thing for the children to practice. All right? If you do need us, you could always reach us at 718-281-3870. That's the number for the Fire Safety Unit, and you can schedule presentations or school visits or what have you. Okay? Please be safe during the holiday season. And thank you very much.
So does anyone have any questions? No questions? You have your opportunity. Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. So you're ready to move on? Everyone's ready for this holiday party. Is that what it's about? Yes. All right, so we'll start our public hearings. So we'll open it up with our Traffic and Transportation Chair, Stephen Kohanik. Take the mic, take it off.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here this evening. I'm Steve Kohanik, I'm the chairman of the Traffic and Transportation Committee. We're setting an all-time speed record for the community board this evening. So you're here for a seminal moment. I have one public hearing for you this evening. It's regarding a co-naming request from the, Laura Almeida, Agas corner, northwest corner of Northern Boulevard and 75th Street. Do we have someone from Council Member Dromm's office? Would you come up and you can briefly say what it is, and then we'll come on. There's fine.
Hi, so it's a street co-naming. Actually, I'm not sure Justice Carmen Bell. Okay.
I'll introduce her.
Oh, okay. So it's a street co-naming for.
Say who you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Ki Bin-Yit. I'm both for Council Member Daniel Dromm. Good evening and happy holidays. So this street co-naming is proposed by Justice Carmen Velasquez. That's for his late mother. So Council Member is actually supporting these street co-naming and hope that we get your guys' support as well.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to point out to the board members there is material in your packet regarding the co-naming. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. I'm very pleased that we actually have with us today New York State Supreme Court Justice Carmen Velasquez, who would like to speak on behalf of the proposal.
Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. First, foremost, thank you so much for allowing me to speak on behalf of Laura Almeida Egas. Laura Almeida Egas, obviously I am not here to speak as a justice. I am here as a common citizen and a resident of this area. Laura was my mother. She was an exceptional woman. She was my hero. And I'm gonna read this because sometimes we get emotional, and as you can see in my breaking of my voice. So I would just indicate to you that I appreciate the opportunity that Councilman Daniel Dromm is submitting this petition. I know that Assemblyman Michael Dendecker also submitted a letter of support, as well as two other organizations, the Ecuadorian International Center and Mujeres Exitosas, which is a successful women, and the president is right here with me, Gina Bolaños. Please let me tell you a little bit about this exceptional woman who married at the age of 13. In our standards, that would be a child getting married. But in those times, that was the way to do it. And in fact, if you were 17, that you were too late to get married. My mom had 4 kids. One was, he died at the age of 4. My sister, she is a trilingual. She speaks and writes and reads 3 languages. I had 3 kids. One is a New York City police officer. The other one is a school teacher. And the other one is a college student. I'm the second one. And of course, I make history. 10 years ago, when I became civil court judge, I'm the first Ecuadorian in the whole entire United States. And then 3 years ago, as a Supreme Court justice. Thank you. Queens County, as you know, is the most diverse county in the world. And that's why it's so important for us to submit her name. Laura worked intensely during her years. She worked to fundraise for the church. She helped individuals with mental illness. She cooked for them. She cared for them. She went through a lot of the years ago, the Ecuadorians had a double citizenship. She was working very hard. And the whole purpose of us submitting this application is not only to show that immigrants can do a lot for this country, but they can bring their children and make the children successful and contribute to our society. This is the glue that comes to America, the best that we have. And she did that. She did that by providing her American dream, which was have her kids educated, make them better than she was, and her dream to come true. Anyway, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for giving me this great opportunity to speak to you on behalf of my greatest hero, my mom.
Thank you, Justice. Thank you, Justice Velasquez. This is a public hearing. We welcome comments from the public on this proposed street co-naming.
And 3 individuals, if you'd like to come up.
Come up.
Hi, I'm Ed Wesley, Community Board member. I just had one question. In her bio, it seems like she lived in East Elmhurst and Astoria. It doesn't mention anything about Jackson Heights or Corona or Elmhurst, except for East Elmhurst. And yet, we're going to put a sign up at Northern Boulevard and where? 75th. Why at 76? My question is, why at that corner when she lived in East Elmhurst?
That is the most excellent question. In my rushing to submit the statements to you, I did not mention that specific fact. One of the things that happens within the last few years is that all of the parades are in Northern Boulevard, and her favorite spot was 75th Street and Northern Boulevard. And what she did for the community was, when we changed from Roosevelt Avenue to Northern Boulevard, she was one of the individuals that promoted a lot of the parades, and her spot was designated as 75th Street and Northern Boulevard for the last 20 years. So, when we were talking about how dishonor, everybody remember that whenever anybody passed by 75th Street, there was Mom waving, inviting the community to come in and wave to those who are passing. Of course, I will be passing with Councilman Dromm and the rest of the political individuals. But I live on 76th Street and 31st Avenue. So in 76 was not her, even though I live on 76, that was not the street she wanted. So for the last 20 years, in every parade that you had, that was her corner. And we felt that everyone in the community we knew that, and in fact, this year, when she was not there, many people decided to honor her, and they had a picture in my
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else from the public that wishes to comment on the proposal? Go ahead. There is nobody else. Go ahead.
Just to be clear, most of the parades are on 37th Avenue, not Northern Boulevard. The Ecuadorian Parade and the Colombian Parade are on Northern Boulevard. All the others are on 37th Avenue.
Okay.
Thank you, Ed. Okay, is there any other comments from the public? Seeing or hearing none, we will close the public hearing. We will take the item up in executive session. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Arthur and Edmund, our Business Economic Committee.
So we have 10 applicants as compared to the one. Prefer to use that microphone. Okay. It's not loud. Okay. Okay, the first application is J&C Delicias Corp., 3761 79th Street in Jackson Heights. This is an application for a corporate change. Is the applicant present? Okay. Moving on. Second applicant is Sueños Americano Bar Restaurant, 3514 and 16 Junction Boulevard in Corona. Application for a full liquor license. Is the applicant present? Okay, moving on again. Next applicant, Vita Cuban Asian Fusion, 8613 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. Application for a new full liquor license. Come forward. Any mic over there? What happened to the mic that was there? Because the whole room can't see it.
All right, my name is Elvis Severio.
Have to turn around.
I'm the owner of Vida Cuban Asian Fusion. It's a new restaurant in Jackson Heights that we're trying to establish. merging two different regions, Cuban and Asian, which has never been done. Taking a risk, because it's something different. Jackson Heights is more mainly Peruvian restaurants and Colombian. Can you hear me in the back? Yeah, definitely. No, it's all right? No? It's against the rules. So what I'm trying to do is something different. We're creating a new menu, which is a celebrity chef, Asian, actually born in the Dominican Republic. And I brought him over to New York to do something completely different in Jackson Heights. All you see in Jackson Heights is bars and nightclubs. You don't see that many restaurants around. So I'm trying to create something different where everyone can come in with their family, have a good meal, and also take advantage of the new cuisine that we're trying to create.
Okay, are there any questions? Everyone has to come up, right? Hamlet, please come up.
Remember, everyone, it's only 3 questions. So Hamlet's the first one.
Thank you. You have a Dominican chef, but how does the Cuban portion get into the name?
My grandfather was Cuban.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions for the applicant? Okay, we'll take it up in executive session. Next applicant is Mr. Cangrejo New York Corp., 7909 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights, application for a wine and beer license. Is the applicant present? Yes, okay. Come on over to the side.
I don't think I need a microphone, do I?
You do for recording purposes, yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, this is a Colombian restaurant on 7909 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights. And the owner and his wife are running the business, and we're applying for a wine restaurant license.
Okay, are there any questions? Okay. Seeing no questions, we'll move on. Next applicant is Capital Mountain Corp., doing business as Amore, 7801-09 Roosevelt Avenue, in the basement in Jackson Heights, application for a new full liquor license. Applicant, please come forward.
Everybody, good evening. My place is 78th Street and Roosevelt Avenue, and restaurant and bar and karaoke. Karaoke singing mean come to birthday party, family. We got the private room, can singing, start the business. Thank you.
Are there any questions? Yes, Ed, please come up.
It says here in the application from the committee that this has been a focal point for New York City Police Department for a whole plethora of violations, prostitution, selling to people that are intoxicated. Could you explain that?
That's why we changed all different style business now. We're doing only restaurant and bar. Before we had the bar, but now restaurant and bar, karaoke. For more family place, not like a regular bar. Restaurant and bar. Before we doing the bar, that's no more. We're doing now karaoke and private party, birthday party. So more singing place.
But it's the same owners.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me add some clarification to that. He surrendered his current license that he had, and he's applying for a new one. Any questions? Any additional questions? Okay, no one else? We'll take it up in executive session. Next applicant is AbsolutelyDivineCookies.com, doing business as Papa's Kitchen, 3707 83rd Street in Jackson Heights. Application for a new full liquor license.
Good evening, Community Board 3. My name is Adam Cohn. I'm an attorney, although I don't look like it at the moment. This is Mary Beth Roa. She owns a 36-seat Filipino restaurant at the corner of 83rd and 37th Avenue. She's opened a few weeks ago. We're applying for a full liquor license so that she can serve alcohol at the restaurant. The restaurant keeps restaurant hours, and that's what we're doing.
Okay. Are there any questions?
Did you bring us cookies?
If you have a question, you have to come up to the mic.
Yeah, Kevin, you have to come up if you have a question. Any questions?
I withdraw the question.
Okay. No other questions? Okay. We'll take it up in executive session. Okay, there is a question? Okay, can you come up?
Yes. Do you have a liquor license at your other establishments? No, just this.
Okay, any other question? We'll take it up in executive session. Thank you. Next applicant is JIL Restaurant and Sports Bar Incorporated, doing business as Leo's Sports Bar, 8419 Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights. Application for a new full liquor license.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Natalia Duque. I am one of the owners of Leo's Restaurant and Sports Bar. It does say on here on the agenda, Leo's Sports Bar, but it is a restaurant before sports bar. The restaurant will be composed of 3 segments. It will be a bakery, it will be a restaurant, and it'll be also liquor, alcohol, also served. It's a sports bar as well. I'm a current owner of one location right now, Borough Restaurant, where we hosted Jessica Ramos and her victory there. But what we are doing today is that we are applying in front of you for the liquor license. This restaurant, why we are different, we are a Latin American restaurant fused with American cuisine as well. The reason why we're having a 3rd restaurant opening is because this is in memory of my brother, who passed away a year ago. And he did pass away at a different restaurant establishment. We want to continue his legacy, and what better legacy to continue on than in our community, in a community that we're trying to clean up, that we're trying to say no to many things that we call as vices and that are hurting the future of our community. So I welcome any questions that anyone has tonight.
Okay, Steve, please come up.
Hi, I'm one of the board members. I'm a resident that lives very, very close to where the establishment is. A neighbor of mine expressed a concern that she saw during the renovations that workers were working in the building prior to 7 a.m. and after 10 p.m., as well as on the weekends. I just wonder if you could address that. I also believe that there was a stop work order placed on it when it was going on. Could you just comment as to what the circumstances were behind all that?
Yeah, well, we had applied for that license to go on with our contractors. Unfortunately, we were stopped, and we abide by that order. So we're no longer working before or after hours or the weekends. You're welcome.
Okay, Ed.
I always find it difficult to believe that a restaurant needs to open at 6 a.m. in the morning and close at 4 a.m. the next morning. When do you go home? When do you sleep? When does the family members, you know, if you're a restaurant, your normal hours would be until about 10, maybe 11. So it's clear to me that this is more than a restaurant. It's a sports bar, as you say. But you're trying to say, no, it's really a restaurant. Well, I think it's really a sports bar.
Thank you for your question. So as I said before, my opening statement was that we are an establishment created with 3 segments. It's a bakery, it's a restaurant, and it's also a sports bar. 6 a.m., it's for all of our customers, all of our locals that we welcome, who want to have their breakfast, who want to have their coffee before they go to work. Our restaurant are for our locals who are coming in for their lunch, who just want to dine and wine, and take it into the late evening. And that's the reason why on certain nights, which is Thursday, we have our late nights being from 6 a.m. to 4 a.m., Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday will be from 6 to 2 a.m. So we need to make sure that you guys are aware of that concern.
Okay, is there another question? Yes. It's a quick yes. We'll give Ed the final question. Okay.
Thank you. It doesn't show the capacity. How many people can you be in this place?
So 50 customers for seating, and then we have 74 in total, which includes all of our staff members, customers, as well as managers and security that we will be having for the days of the weekends. Thank you.
Okay. Next applicant is Las Juanas Restaurante Asadero Incorporated, 9513 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. Application for a new wine and beer license. Is the applicant present?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lina Morales. My father is the owner of Las Juanas. We are located at 9515 Northern Boulevard. And we are a very small restaurant, Colombian restaurant. We open from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. So we are applying for the wine and beer license.
Okay, are there any questions? One, twice. Any questions? Okay, please come forward.
No, you can come right up to the mic. All right.
There's several things. What are the hours of your operation? I'm sorry, my name is Reverend Kimberly Deathridge. I'm the pastor of St. Mark AME Church located at 95-18 Northern Boulevard.
We are open from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m.
My concern is that your operation is across the street from a church that is in operation, that has been there in that particular location in existence for over 30 years. And we have operations, we have programs, Narcotics Anonymous and seniors and Bible study and worship services. And it's my concern that it's not necessary for you to have a beer and a wine license in that location across the street from a church. There are many, many restaurants up and down Northern Boulevard, too many. And once you get a beer and wine license, then there's a liquor license. And we know that you can't be within 200 feet of the church with the liquor license. But our concern, the church is concerned, the community, we serve Corona, East Elmhurst, Jackson Heights, we have food pantry, we have, and already what's there is a liquor store on the corner. But other than that liquor store, the Chinese restaurant doesn't sell beer and wine. The pizza parlor that was there before you didn't sell beer and wine. And it has been a quiet block with not too many disturbances. And the disturbances that we have had has been people come with, you know, we did have a problem with the liquor store, but we don't have a problem anymore. And our concern is that, well, we just oppose it.
Okay. Any comment? Any response?
Yeah.
Okay.
I respect your church, and we're a family restaurant. We don't pretend to get people drunk, that's for sure. And well, we don't pretend to get people drunk. We don't want. We just want. No, we just want people to enjoy a beer or a wine while they're having dinner, and that's it.
Okay. Any other questions?
The question she asked the pastor that wasn't answered. She asked if
Do you have a question, Frank?
Frank,
do you have a question? Can you come on, Mike?
Not my question. Not my question. This any hours? Okay, I stand corrected. Not my question.
She answered the question.
And I just want to state that the church is in operation 7 days a week from 8 o'clock in the morning
Okay, thank you.
No, you're the second question.
I asked for just your question. Can you come back? Okay. Yeah, this is the final question.
Thank you, Ladisla Perez, a member from the Community Board 3. My question is, if a customer comes in just to drink, will you serve them or they have to have food in order to have a drink?
They need to order food to get the drink. Mm-hmm.
So they don't come
Because we don't have a bar. We have tables. We have 10 tables, and each table has 4 chairs. So.
Okay, thank you. That was already the third question. Okay, thank you. The next applicant is Himalayan Group LLC, doing business as Bamboo House and Bar Incorporated, 7603 37th Avenue in Jackson Heights. It's an application for a full liquor license.
Hi folks, my name is Nabaraj KC, also known by Raj. I'm also one of the CB member, I'm CB3 member. Happy holiday to you all. This is one of the new Indian Nepali fusion type of restaurant with bar we're going to open. Actually, restaurant is already open, so we're waiting for the liquor license to get approved. So if you have any questions or any answer, please, I'll be more than happy to answer it.
Are there any questions? No one has any questions? Okay, please come up. Yes, he is. Any questions? Arthur? Okay.
You've had a lot of violations, and you know, how can we approve you when the police are there relatively frequently, and the liquor authority has taken away, has suspended you?
I never knew that.
No?
I have no idea. I don't, that's false information, I guess. No.
Not this applicant. It's a new business with no violations. Any other questions?
I was thinking of the next one.
No other questions? Okay, we'll take it in executive session then. Next applicant is Uno Cafe and Billiards Incorporated, 7801-209 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights. This is an application for a corporate change.
Hello, Kim again. This place is a pool hall. We're serving the food. We got the big screen, watching the soccer game, people. So enjoy. That's it.
Any questions? Yes, Frank, please come up. You still have to come up.
Anyone that needs to be documented on the microphone, everyone. Come on up. 3 individuals if you'd like to say a comment or have a question.
Does anyone else feel free to line up over there also?
Yes, please.
Okay, that's great. Okay, how's everybody doing? Happy holidays. I think there's a question because he was up before, and what this is a corporate change, and that's the only thing I was asking you to explain. That is it's a different issue.
Right, he's applying to add himself to the license. This is on the second floor. The first application is a new application for the basement. This is an application for a corporate change to add himself to the license on the second floor. Any other questions? Yes, Ed.
Yeah, your establishment has a record of violations for the New York State Liquor Authority. Could you explain that?
Which violation?
Your restaurant, the one you're asking for a liquor license for.
What kind of violation?
I have no idea. I would think you knew about it. The committee knew about it.
Do I go into this?
we don't have no violation. Few years.
I can say the latest violation was availing, where someone was using someone else's license. That was the last violation that was issued.
Okay, but this says extensive violations of
Right,
the New
there were
York
more.
State Liquor Authority.
There were
The
more.
owner of the place apparently has no knowledge of any of that.
Actually, he's not currently the owner. He's adding himself to the ownership.
Oh, so, okay. Gotcha.
Right. We're going to take this up in executive session. We're going to loop back around to the first two to see if they're here. J&C Delicias Corp., 3761 79th Street in Jackson Heights. Application for a corporate change. Is the applicant present? No, they're not. And Sueños Americano Bar Restaurant, 3514 through 16 Junction Boulevard in Corona. Application for a new full liquor license, and they're here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Argelio Rodriguez. I'm the attorney for Sueños Americano. I'm here with the principal, Segundo Minchala. This is an application for a new full liquor license. They're currently open, and they've been operating for a few months now, and they desperately need a liquor license in order to stay in business. They're located on Junction and 35th Avenue. Segundo Minchala here has a unique distinction in the neighborhood. He's been operating a restaurant on Roosevelt Avenue and 104th Street called Mitad del Mundo for 14 years. He's done it throughout that entire time with only one minor SLA case involving an administrative violation involving a posting on a posting within the restaurant. He has an exemplary operational record. He's probably among the best, if not the best operator in the area. Not many people can say they've operated a restaurant on Roosevelt Avenue for that long with his track record. He currently has his son operating that establishment together with him, and he's hoping to dedicate himself predominantly to this new establishment, and he's looking for your support.
Okay. Are there any questions? Please come up.
Just to be clear, you're applying for a wine and beer license, not a liquor license.
We're applying for a full liquor license, beer, wine, and liquor.
Did I make a
It
mistake?
says here you've been denied a full liquor license.
There's never been an application submitted for Sueños Americano.
That's your restaurant? That's the one we're talking about?
Yes, that's incorrect.
I have a typo on there. There is a typo on there about the class of license.
Okay, so they were formally denied, previously denied a full liquor. Now they're coming back asking for a full liquor.
I think that's what
That's
it
what
was.
it says in your notes.
I think that's what it was. There was previous representation.
So is this a partner or a new owner or?
Doing this in executive or? We would have to do this in executive session.
He'd just like a moment to just kind of clarify something, if
Yeah,
that's okay?
just let him clarify.
Yeah. There's never been an application submitted by Sueños Americano. What did happen was he had prior representation who basically did not speak Spanish and he does not speak English. And so I took over in the middle of the committee session, the business development committee session in the middle of it. And because of the lack of communication, which is often common when the business owner doesn't speak English, I felt the need to basically to fill out the questionnaire again to just make sure that we're on the same page. So there was never any denial because there was never an application submitted.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll take it up in executive session.
All right, everyone. We're going to go back to our public information, and we'd like to invite first our Councilman Cosa Constantinides to the mic.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good
So glad to be here with you. Thank you for having me this evening. I want to be brief because I know you have a very full agenda, but just wanted to come by and say what a great partnership we've had in 2018. Definitely appreciate all of Community Board 3's work, and I know that you are doing this of your own time. None of you are collecting a paycheck. You're doing this because of your love of community, your desire to see things get happening in your own neighborhoods and improvement of your neighborhoods, and I thank you for that. We were able this year to see Moser Playground and cut that ribbon finally, which was wonderful. And we know that one-room schoolhouse playground will have a renovation very soon. We're actually about to go into construction in 2019. And I'm looking forward. I know I've been speaking to Giovanna, who's been a great advocate as district manager. She and I have been speaking about putting together a working group for Gorman Playground so that this year we can get that into the budget, figuring out, working with the Parks Department to figure out what renovations need to happen there, pricing it out, and making sure that it gets done. And also looking at Astoria Boulevard. DOT had proposed several traffic improvements that were in need of capital dollars. I look forward to working with Community Board 3 to see what ones make sense and collaboratively looking to get that done in this coming year's budget in FY20. I know we have a great partnership. I know my colleagues, Francisco Moya, who's our zoning chair and doing an amazing job, and I know Danny Dromm as well, our finance chair. We're all on BNT, budget negotiating together, so we're able to really bring a lot of good things back to our districts. So I want to wish you, from my family to yours, a very Merry Christmas. If you had celebrated already, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Kwanzaa, and a blessed, healthy, happy 2019. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Councilman. So we have the ability to ask 3 questions. Does anyone have any questions for the councilman?
All right, I'm good. Good night, everybody.
We will now like to welcome Councilmember Francisco Moya to the mic.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Giovanna. Thank you to all of you. I want to wish all of you and your families a wonderful holiday season. As my colleague Cosa said, we were able to do some very good things in our budget this year. In particular, for Community Board 3, I was able to allocate over $220,000 that went to sort of cleaning up some of the things that we see in the neighborhood, right? I've added more garbage cans along Northern Boulevard. We now have 7-day pickups with the sanitation department. And we also have brought in a wonderful program called the ACE program that is doing a great job of really keeping our streets clean. The ACE program is where there are individuals who are coming out of recovery or were homeless and are now getting paid through this program to work. And they do a wonderful job throughout the city. And we brought that program in here to really start making a difference for the quality of life issues that we face in our community. One of the bigger things also is that, if you go on any corner, you'll see on the street poles all these plastered pieces of paper of rent the room and all of that. Well, the other day I brought the Department of Buildings, HPD, and the Department of Sanitation to now work with us to make sure that it's not just about having them call that number and send a ticket to the number, because they use burner phones. So you call them, you'll never find them, and that's what it is. So if you now, with the Buildings Department, they will go after the individual's house who's illegally renting and makes it completely unsafe for people who are paying to live here in this community but don't have the safety measures that they need when it comes to, God forbid, there's a fire, a lot of things that can go wrong with that. But also, it's to send a message that, we care about our community, and we shouldn't have to walk outside and see our poles caked with pieces of tape and paper that has been there for years, right? You go 10 minutes from here and you're in Rego Park, Forest Hills, you'll never see that, right? So we should demand to get the same quality services that they have in other communities. Also brought in $650,000 to help with renovations for Langston Hughes Library, which is very important. I sit on cultural affairs, and libraries are very big. And we will be opening up the new Elmhurst Library in the next couple of months, so also some great things that we see happening here, because, look, we have to keep pushing. We'd love to get 7 days of our libraries being open for our communities, and that's something that we will continue to push for as we go through in the new year. We also made a big announcement of lights under Roosevelt Avenue. We finally got them. They're going to be coming from 111th Street now all the way to 90th, and I believe the second phase will be from 90th all the way to 63rd. But it's through a lot of the advocacy from all of you and the business owners and people who want to shop in our neighborhood but fear that the darkness in Roosevelt Avenue makes it very unsafe. This will be able to help people and businesses also keep up the upkeep and the presence that we want to see along Roosevelt Avenue. So with that, I just wanted to wish everyone wonderful holidays. Thank you for having me, and I'm sure that we will be doing a lot more work together in the coming year. Thank you, and God bless.
Does anyone have any questions? Aga, please go to the mic. 2 more after Aga.
I appreciate the council members' initiative for these trashes wrapped around the poles. It is not the issue of his district, but I believe that it's above and beyond. I see on this Astoria Boulevard all the way on Grand Central, on BQE exits and entrances, that junk cars and their signs on traffic poles and traffic lights. And this is also a big issue for us. This causes destruction in traffic, and this causes a lot of issue. And this is in the district of Daniel Dromm and Costa's district too, that these junk cars advertisements are there, and we have to address these issues. And also, I would draw all of you 3 councilmen, wonderful council members of these districts, that we are facing a gentrification in our neighborhoods, and how we have to address this. And I would appreciate if you take this on your agenda in the coming sessions. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, everyone. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
And our last public information speaker is Inspector Ortiz from 115 Precinct.
Vertically challenged. First of all, happy holidays. Before I get into anything, my first response is I want to thank you. If it wasn't for the partnerships that I've had with Community Board 3, with our elected officials, we probably wouldn't have the year that we had. We had a very good year this year in regards to crimes. And the biggest ones, which is the ones that, in my opinion, I think are the hardest that really affect us, is the robberies and the burglaries. And needless to say, it looks like we may close out the year down about 90 robberies, about 27%. And a lot of it was, we've been focusing a lot on Roosevelt Avenue. We have a meeting in the precinct every first Wednesday of every month with all the bar owners, managers, just anybody that's involved within the bar that comes. And it's amazing, we get about 50 to 60 people there. And we express to them just suggestions. One of the things, I know we were going through a point where we were having an increase of assault twos in the bars with bottles. We pass it around. We gave them examples saying, how about having somebody maybe go around a little quicker and pick up the bottles as you see them. It's less, in case there's a little argument, then now there's nothing to grab. So I want to say that meeting itself has helped us a lot with getting that mentality of Roosevelt Avenue out of people's heads, saying, oh, that's not a place to go. We wanted it to be a place to go. We want the business owners there to make money. But the one things that every meeting I always come up that continue to drive us, mailbox fishing. I know it's tough for some people to actually get to a post office, but if you could, I tell you to go. We're still getting hit with that, and the only issue with that is we really don't find out a month later when the company's calling you saying, hey, we never received your check. The other ones that we're looking at, again, the car break-ins are still, they're low, but they could be lower. And a lot of it, again, it's amazing the stuff people leave in cars, laptops, iPhones, and it's just, you know, some of the times it just boggles the mind. A couple other things, now with the winter coming, it's the car runnings. You want to run into Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, you know, diner, hey, you know what, I want my car warm when I get back out. It's going to be warm, but it may not be there. You know, so that's a problem. And the crazy, and I'll give you a story, one of my great jobs by one of my NCOs. Guy parks his car by a diner, I won't say what diner, goes in, leaves the car running, comes out, car's gone. So my NCOs, NCO boy, as a matter of fact, do an investigation. They're in the diner, you know, pulling the video. The cashier at the diner goes, well, that guy's right there. So the guy's in there eating that took the car. So obviously, you know, the Delaware finished eating, paid his bill, and he explained. He goes, oh, it was cold this morning, car was running. Guy has never been arrested before, but he saw an opportunity. And a lot of times with those car runnings, that's what we get. We're not getting, you know, the perpetrator, the hardcore guy. We're getting that guy that just, hey, car's running, thank you. You know, and he said, I felt bad, so I came back, but I got hungry. The car's outside. And you can't make it up. Yeah. But those are the things, in the grand larcenies, those are the things that kind of are probably driving us that are a little concerning to me. And again, the mailbox phishing is huge because it's unfortunate that it's a lot of people where a month later you're realizing you didn't pay your bill, and that could be very, very trying. On a side note, you know, it is the holidays, so it is, you know, scam season. So just be aware of, you know, police don't call you, Con Ed doesn't call you, IRS doesn't call you. If they're asking you to get an iTunes card, it's probably a scam. You know, the chance, because it's amazing. The minute you give that last number on that iTunes card, it's worthless. Because whoever's on the other line is waiting on the computer, and they've already emptied out your iTunes cards. We're still continuing to get them. We're getting a lot less, which I'm happy, maybe it's because the word is getting out. But just hang up. Just hang up. It's one of those things. And lastly, again, with the season, you have neighbors, elderly neighbors, that maybe don't have any family or anybody. Let us know. I have community affairs. We'll go knock on the door, say hello, Merry Christmas. You can check up. It's one of those seasons. This is the type of season where, you know, unfortunately we have a lot of, you know, people who are doing danger to themselves just out of depression, out of nobody being around. So, as I say, we are our neighbors' keepers. So again, like I said, my community affairs are there. I have 2 great community affairs officers. If you have anybody in mind that maybe you feel, hey, maybe knock on a door on Christmas Day, get the address to them, and I'll make sure somebody knocks on that door and, you know, wishes them a Merry Christmas. Okay? Thank you.
All right, we can ask 3 questions for Inspector Ortiz.
Yes, this is not really a question. Frank Taylor, Community Board 3. Okay, all right. This is not really a question, but we've been very blessed in our area to first have Inspector Irizarry. She left approximately a year ago. You've been here a little bit less than a year. But then we've also been blessed with you as far as your response and everything else. Did Mars, we thanked you already. The Community Board, I believe we're going to thank you again. And the second thing I wanted to bring up was that he's very humble, but he's also just got a promotion. So, we want to Inspector, right? Inspector? Yeah, so we're very happy about that. We hope that you stay, but we know that that's not up to you. But congratulations from Community Board 3 on your promotion, and thank you for being here. Stay safe.
Thank you, Frank, for giving that greetings from Community Board 3.
I appreciate that. But like I tell my officers, I got promoted because of them, and I got promoted because of you. It's nothing I do. I just pretty much just, you know.
I don't think that's true, but okay. Good job.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, everyone. So if there's no more questions, we'll go into executive session, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So again, everyone, as I mentioned earlier, I know that not that many people were in the room at the time. I'm subbing today for our chair, Philip Pappas. So I would like to first do motions by, first we have to adopt the agenda. No, I'm sorry, everyone. The first thing that we really have to do, we have to have a moment of silence, all right? Not only for President George Bush, but also for our beloved State Senator, New York State Senator, Senator Jose Peralta. All right, everyone. Ms. Reed has a few words for Senator Peralta.
Good evening, everyone. We did not want to meet this evening without acknowledging the passing of State Senator Jose Peralta. He was one of the most important people in our lives. If you don't know, the senator was first a member of Community Board 3. And after serving as a member of Community Board 3, he became an assembly person and then state senator. He was the first Dominican American to take the office of the state senate. I want to, on behalf of this board, thank the family for allowing him to dedicate his life to serving this community. He was a wonderful person and very hard to anger. I tried, but it didn't work. But all jokes aside, we want to thank the senator for all that he has done for this community, and I hope all of his endeavors, the DREAM Act, and other legislation will be supported and passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. So I call for a motion to adopt our agenda. A second? It's carried. So motions by committee, our Business Echo Committee first? Or sorry, traffic, how do you want to do it? Okay, Traffic and Transportation, since that'll be quick.
Hi, good evening, everyone. On the proposed street cone naming for Laura Almeida, Egas corner for the northwest corner of Northern Boulevard and 75th Street, the Traffic and Transportation Committee did meet and discuss this item, and it's the recommendation of the board that it be approved. I make a motion to that effect. May I have a second? Is there any discussion? David.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Rosero, Community Board 3. Okay, I'm here in support to this application due to the fact that there was a lady Miss Laura, she was very active in the community. She did a lot of good things for people. It's a good example for actually immigrants who integrate in the community, be part of America. She devoted lots of her time and knowledge, and perhaps for the better quality of life for our community. I was in support of this application.
Yeah, thank you, David. Is there any other discussion amongst the board members? Hearing none, we will call the question.
Elba Buendia? Yes. Mr. Das? Yes. Sonia Davis-Roberts? Yes. Vivian Dock? Yes. Margaret Dozier? Yes. Renetta English? Yes. Mr. Gandhi? Abstain. Pastor Peter Herron? Yes. Lorinda Hooks? Yes. Kevin Hughes? Yes. Nabaraj Casey? Yes. Ed Kiernan? Yes. Steve Kulhanek? Yes. Marta Liberto,
Yes.
Carlos Andres Lopez,
Yes.
Caridad Mack,
Yes.
Bill Meehan,
Yes.
Lisa Masulo,
Yes.
Richard Mink,
Yes.
Ralph Moreno,
Yes.
Veronica Eng,
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons,
Yes.
Nuala O'Doherty,
Yes.
Ladisla Perez,
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan,
Yes.
Jairo Rodriguez,
Yes.
Edmund Rosenbaum, yes. David Rosero,
Yes.
Aga Muhammad Saleh,
Yes.
Marlene Tapper,
Yes.
Frank Taylor,
Yes.
Arthur Tyler,
Yes.
Chanel Thomas. Okay. Hamlet Wallace,
Yes.
Toy Washington Simon,
Yes.
Ed Wesley.
Abstain.
Did I miss anyone? Okay. Leonce Romero. Okay. So motion passed, 2 abstentions. Mr. Gandhi? Any comment?
Good afternoon, good evening. It is very embarrassing to abstain from voting on this resolution. It is very delicate, but with due respect to Carmen, if she is here. Yes. Ma'am, you misspelled your mother's name right on the front page of your 5-page. Secondly, this is the story, typical story of practically all immigrants. Whether he or she comes from the Ecuador or South Africa, South America, or elsewhere, Europe or Asia. And she, of course, did a good thing, lot of hard work for her family and for her community, Ecuadorian community. In this 5-page presentation, it doesn't mention anywhere whether she worked for the city or state or the federal government. I am again very embarrassing not to lend my full support, but we are setting a bad precedent. Now it has become almost a routine that every meeting we get a proposal for co-naming one street corner or the other street corner for a person who has not done public service for the city. They might have done a lot of things in their private life, but I wish to express my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, Ed, if you want to comment.
First of all, I'd like to offer our congratulations to your victory tonight. I just have 2 comments. One is there needs to be a clear and present residency established within Community Board 3 to recognize any of these distinguished people. Secondly, it's very difficult to put up a name on a street, an avenue, a boulevard without saying, in this case, she ran the Ecuadorian parade. You need to put that on there because nobody knows why we're celebrating that person. The only one that has done that was Assemblyman Lafayette in the entire community board. So I would make that suggestion in future consideration. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I did say fast.
Okay.
So it's passed, everyone. So before Edmund goes, I just want all the board members to know that you do have an envelope in your packet, and we are going to have our celebration later on today. So can you please look at this envelope, and hopefully you'll be able to fill it and pass it on to our treasurer. All right, Edmund. No, it's supposed to be a beige envelope, everyone. Beige or white. It says Happy Holidays. It's a community board holiday reception. If you don't have a envelope, you can speak with the treasurer.
Okay. Are we ready? We have 10 motions. I'm going to keep on moving on. We need the gavel. Okay. First application, J&C Delicious Corp., 3761 79th Street in Jackson Heights. This is an application for a corporate change. Motion is, committee recommends approval of an application for a corporate change of an on-premise full liquor license for this applicant. Do we have a second? Any discussion? Okay, no discussion?
So a yes is for approval. Yes is a yes.
Yeah, that's why that mic is very low. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay. Okay, so a yes means yes. Elba Buendia? Yes. Shiv Das? Yes. Sonia Davis Roberts, that's me, yes. Vivian Dock? Margaret Dozier? Yes. Renetta English? Yes. Vastri Gandhi? Yes. Patricia Glunt? Okay, not here. Pastor Peter Heron? No. Lorinda Hooks? Yes. Kevin Hughes? Yes. Joyce Jillian? Okay. Nabaraj Casey? Nabaraj, I'm sorry. Edwin Carrion? Yes. Stephen Kohanek? Yes. Martha Leberton? Yes. Carlos Lopez? Yes. Caridad Mock? Yes. Bill Meehan? Yes. Lisa Masul? Okay. Yes. Okay. Richard Mink? Yes. Ralph Moreno? Yes. Mullen's not here. Veronica Ng? Yes. Laverne Nimmons? Yes. Nula Daltrey? Yes. Ladicia Perez? Yes. Dorothy Flehan? Yes. Foster, okay, Foster's not here. Jairo Rodriguez?
Yes.
El Romero? Yes. Edmund Rosenbaum?
Yes.
David Rosario?
Yes.
A. Aga Saleh? Okay. Jimmy Smith? Okay, Jimmy's not here. Marlene Tapper? Yes. Frank Taylor?
Yes.
Arthur Tyler?
Yes.
Chanel Thomas? Yes. Hamlet Wallace?
Yes.
Toy Simmons, Washington Simmons?
Yes.
Ed Wesley?
Yes.
Camilo Zamora? Okay, not here. Okay. It looks like it passed. I mean, there's no no's except one no. Motion passed.
Second applicant, Sueños Americanos Bar and Restaurant, 3514 and 16 Junction Boulevard in Corona. This is an application for a full liquor license. Committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant, provided that the stipulation has been received stating the hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. daily. The bar will close at 2 a.m. daily with a last call of 1:45 a.m. Security will be provided from 10 to 3 a.m. on a daily basis, and there will be no dancing, cover charge, or nightclub activity. The stipulation has been signed and received. Do I have a second? Any discussion? I'll add to the discussion what we had mentioned before. The mention by Ed Wesley about the previous denial. There was an application submitted only to the community board, and we voted on it for a denial at a previous meeting. The application was never submitted to the state at that point. Where's Tori?
Why is there a no dancing thing on this?
Dancing is not legal in the city of New York
That's not
without
true. That's
permission.
not true.
Without permission
All right.
from the state if they're licensed for liquor.
Okay, I have papers I'll submit to you and to the board. I asked clarification for this from the city, and we're not incorrect.
Right, but the state has to approve of the location.
I'll submit the application to you.
Okay.
We're off here.
Anyone else? Okay, call the question.
Oh, no. I was just saying, I'm a little concerned. What concerns me about this particular situation is that they're closing at 2 a.m. and the last call is at 1:45. I mean, for me, that probably won't be enough for me to change my vote, but I am concerned because to me it seems like at 1:45, if people are still heavily intoxicated, then, I mean, it doesn't give the alcohol time to wear off. So that, I'm just making a statement that it concerns me that the last call is only 15 minutes prior to closing. Huh? Yeah. Well, you said it closed at 3? Okay, well, I thought it said 2. Bar will close at 2. Oh, just the bar. Okay, all right. Okay. Well, then I retract that statement. Thank you.
I'm just trying to clarify. Is this for a wine and beer or a full liquor license?
No, it's full liquor. That's a typo on the top. The motion is correct. Okay, call the question.
So we recommend approval. Okay, so yes means yes. Huh? It's nice. Elba Buendia. Yes. Shiv Das. Yes. Sonia Davis Roberts, yes. Vivian Dock. Yes. Margaret Dozier. Yes. Renetta English. Yes. Okay. Pastor Peter Haran. No. All right. I think I missed somebody. Bastard Gandhi. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Lorinda Hooks. Yes. Kevin Hughes.
Yes.
Joyce Jillian. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, how you pronounce this? Nabaraj Casey. Yes? Ed Kiernan?
No.
Steve Kohanik?
Yes.
Martha Leberton?
No.
Carlos Lopez?
Yes.
Caridad Mock?
Yes.
Bill Meehan?
Yes.
Lisa Masulim?
Yes.
Richard Mink?
Yes.
Ralph Morano?
Yes.
Veronica Ng?
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons?
Yes.
Nuala Daltrey?
Yes.
Ladisa Perez?
Yes.
Dorothy Fleeman?
No.
Jairo Rodriguez?
Yes.
Lenocio Romero? Yes. Ed Rosenbaum? No. Okay. David Rosario? Yes. Lobsang Salant? No. A. Saleh?
No.
Marlene Tapper?
No.
Frank Taylor?
No.
Arthur Tyler?
No.
Chanel Thomas? Hamlet Wallace?
No.
Toy Simmons?
No.
Ed Wesley?
No.
That's a lot of no's. Okay, let me count it up. Yeah, right here. That's Chanel abstained.
Yeah, wait for the Count.
It passed, 24.
Just don't have to get the number, just motion passed.
Oh, motion passed.
We have a count?
You want to count? Okay.
I have 24 yes and 13 noes and 1 abstain.
She said no comment. Okay, next applicant is Vida Cuban Asian Fusion, 8613 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. It's an application for a full liquor license. Committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant, provided that the stipulation has been received stating the hours of operation will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., Thursday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m., and security will be provided from 10 p.m. to closing on Friday through Sunday. There will be no dancing or nightclub activities. The stipulation, well, I'll do it in discussion. Do we have a second? Second? Okay. Discussion is the stipulation was partially received. There's notation on the stipulation regarding the security, and it states that security will be provided Fridays and Saturdays. There is no timing listed. Just want to put that out there for your review before we call the question. But it does not list exactly what we requested, Friday through Sunday, 10 p.m. to closing. Yes, Ed.
You as committee chair, do you accept that it's incomplete?
I can't speak for the remainder of the committee.
One remedy would to be carried over to the next meeting before you make a decision tonight to see if they're in agreement with what you wanted them to do.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Yes, Ed. Come up, Ed. Yeah.
I'm sorry, just very briefly. Are the establishment owners here?
Yeah, but in executive session, we can't,
So, okay.
yeah. We can't let him ask the question. So what are we doing with it? Can we table it to the next month? Yes, Leoncio.
How critical is that thing? Because you brought that at the last minute when we don't have a chance to discuss or bring them over here to ask them questions. So do you put in the situation that the request in a jeopardy? So, or we had to suspend it, or we cannot bring up an issue that Sue brought up earlier or discuss in the committee. So my I second Mr. Wallace, Wesleyan. Suggestion to bring it up in the next month. Yeah. If the situation is critical, we should do it next month.
Okay. So then I recommend tabling the application to next month then.
Wait, so the committee recommended approval, but now you're recommending that we're tabling it?
Well, it's because the stipulation was not written as to what was agreed on. Yes, Frank.
But the thing is, the thing is to have a, complete and transparency. What is the reason why we're tabling it, and can you explain that to everyone here?
Well, I would have to make the request to table it, and it'd have to be agreed on.
Would be
Well,
tabled.
two members have already asked to give him an opportunity to discuss this with us next month. Since we're already in executive session, we can't have a discussion with the applicant. So what do we do procedurally on this? We'll have to do a vote.
Yes. No, I mean, leave it for this.
No.
Sure the board members understand, maybe the public don't.
We'd have to have some kind of motion to table it.
Can you clarify?
Let's confer with the district manager 1 second.
All right, everyone. Since the motion has already been called to say for approving of this license for Vita, we have to either vote it up or vote it down. After then, we have to do another motion to say that we'll table it until next month for them to come back in front of the business echo community.
You're gonna vote for it, why would you bring it back?
Parliamentary rules of final way.
That's what I thought.
We should support the recommendation.
We still have to vote. We still have the motion on the floor, everyone. We called for the question. So now you have the opportunity to vote.
Point of order.
Yes.
We were in discussion. We didn't know.
Okay, I thought we did. I thought we called for the motion already. Oh, okay, apologize. There was a second to the motion. So we have to call the question at this point.
We're still in this discussion.
We're gonna be worsening the thing if we go to the motion of order. We're just gonna mess up the whole thing.
Since the motion is already seconded and on the floor, it has to be voted on. And then beyond that, we have to make any decision after that.
I would protest that for the next meeting. Somebody's got to look at the Robert's Rules of Order. I believe it says if you haven't called the question, you can postpone it until the next meeting.
But he's saying that the question wasn't called yet. Okay.
One thing that you could do is ask the floor to vote if they want to go on with it or.
Right.
That's the only thing that has to be voted. If you want to go on with it or eliminate it.
I would like to hear the recommendation from the committee.
Right. So I'm going to reread the motion again. Committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premise full liquor license for this applicant, provided that the stipulation has been received stating the hours of operation will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Thursday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. Security will be provided from 10 p.m. to closing on Friday through Sunday. There will be no dancing or nightclub activity. Second for the motion. Yep. Yeah, that means it has to be voted on. Exactly.
Let's call the question. What's the question? The approval or? Okay.
then you want to have it brought up again at the next meeting? It seems the logical thing to do is to postpone it first and then vote in the next meeting.
No, we voted. We have a motion. We have a motion.
Okay, we're going to call the question. This is the question that we're dealing with. Vita Cuban Asian fusion. Okay, so we're voting on a yes or no for the approval.
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, so I'm going to call the question here. A yes is a yes, a no is a no. A yes is an approval, a no is a non-approval. Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Shiv Das.
Yes.
Sonia Davis Roberts. No. Vivian Dock. Vivian Dock. Vivian, hello?
Yes or no?
Yes, okay. Margaret Dozier.
Yes.
Okay. Renetta English. Bastri Gandhi, I'm sorry. Gandhi. Mr. Gandhi.
Yes.
Yes. Huh? This is my first time doing this, please excuse me. Pastor Peter Haran.
Doing a great job.
Pastor Peter Haran?
No.
No. Lorinda Hooks. Lorinda Hooks?
Yes.
Kevin Hughes?
No.
NKC. Nabaj. I cannot pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Yes? Okay, I'm sorry. Ed Kernan.
Abstain.
Steve Kohanek.
Yes.
Martha Leberton.
No.
Carlos Lopez.
Yes.
Caridad Mock.
Yes.
Bill Meehan.
Yes.
Linda Masulam.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Lisa Masulam, I'm sorry. Richard Mink.
Abstain.
Ralph Morano.
Yes.
Veronica Ing.
No.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Nuala Daltrey.
Yes.
Ladisla Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Fleehan. Phelan. Jairo Rodriguez.
Yes.
El Romero.
Yes.
Ed Rosenbaum.
No.
David Rosario.
Yes.
Lapsang Salaka.
No.
Aga Saleh.
No.
Marlene Tapper.
No.
Frank Taylor.
No.
Arthur Tyler.
No.
Chanel Thomas.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace. Toy Washington Simmons.
Yes.
Ed Wesley.
No.
Okay. Well, I have a couple of abstains. Anybody want to comment? Vanetta, you want to comment? Okay.
The reason stated before.
Okay. Richard Mink?
That's
you?
the reason
I'm sorry.
stated before.
Okay. Ed Kiernan?
No.
Dorothy Fleehan? You want? Okay. Phelan, I cannot pronounce, sorry. So I have, it passes, 21 yes and 13 no.
Due to the fact that it passes, The yes recommendation is contingent upon what the motion was, exactly as was written and presented, since the motion did pass. And that's how it will be sent to the State Liquor Authority, the exact things that are written right there. Right, it's conditional that everything is provided that was in the motion. Right. Okay, next applicant is Mr. Congrejo New York Corp., 7909 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights. This is an application for a wine and beer license. Motion is the committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premise wine and beer license for this applicant. Do we have a second? Second. Any discussion? Okay. All the question.
Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Shiv Das.
Yes.
Sonia Davis Roberts, yes. Vivian Dopp. Margaret Dozier.
Yes.
Renetta English. Mr. Gandhi.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes.
Yes.
The Barrage, KC.
Yes.
Ed Kernan.
Yes.
Steve Kohanek.
Yes.
Martha Lebaton.
Yes.
Carlos Lopez.
Yes.
Caridat Mock.
Yes.
Bill Meehan.
Yes.
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mink.
Yes.
Ralph Morano. Richard Mullins. Okay, why did I go? Veronica Ng.
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Nuala Daughtry.
Yes.
Ladisa Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Fleehan.
Yes.
I'm just gonna call her. Hyra Rodriguez.
Yes. Yes.
El Romero.
Yes.
Ed Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosario.
Yes.
Lobsang Salah.
Yes.
Salaka. Aga Saleh.
No.
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 Marlene Tapper.
Yes.
Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler.
Yes.
Chanel Thomas.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
Troy Washington Simmons.
Yes.
Ed Wesley.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next applicant is Capital Mountain Corp., doing business as Amore, 7801 to 09 Roosevelt Avenue in the basement, Jackson Heights. Application for a full liquor license. Motion is, committee recommends disapproval of an application for an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant due to the disciplinary history and pending charges of the current license, and due to the fact that the corporate principal for the active license and current application are the same individual. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I call the question.
So yes means yes?
Yes means yes? No, yes means no. But don't say that.
What did?
Motion to disapprove. No, it's disapprove. Yes,
Wait a minute, which?
Yes, it's a no.
No, don't say that.
Yes.
A yes vote is for the disapproval. The motion is to disapprove. A yes vote is to disapprove.
So a yes is a disapproval.
A yes is a no.
A yes is a disapproval. All right. Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Shiv Das. Yes. Sonia Davis Roberts, yes. Vivian Dopp.
Yes.
Margaret Dozier.
Yes.
Renetta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes.
Yes.
Navaraj KC.
Yes.
Ed Kernan.
Yes.
Steve Kohanek.
Yes.
Martha Leviton.
Yes.
Carlos Lopez.
Yes.
Caridat Mock.
Yes.
Bill Meehan.
Yes.
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mink. Ralph Morano. Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Nula Daltrey.
Yes.
Ladisa Perez. Ladisla Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Freehan.
Yes.
Jairo Rodriguez.
Yes.
El Romero.
Yes.
Ed Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosario.
Yes.
Lavsang Salaka.
Yes.
Aga Saleh.
Yes.
Marlene Tapa.
Yes.
Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler.
Yes.
Chanel Thomas. Hamlet Wallace. Toy Washington Simmons.
Yes.
Ed Wesley.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Next applicant is AbsolutelyDivineCookies.com LLC, doing business as Papa's Kitchen, 3707 83rd Street in Jackson Heights. Application for a full liquor license. Motion is, committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant. Do I have a second?
Yes, sir.
Any discussion?
Where are the cookies?
Call the question.
Okay, yes means yes. Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Shiv Das. Sonia Davis Roberts, yes. Vivian Dock. Margaret Dozier.
Yes.
Lynetta English. Mr. Gandhi. Peter Pastor Haran.
No.
I'm Pastor Peter. Lorinda Hooks. You said no, right?
No, no.
Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes.
Yes.
Nabaraj KC.
Yes.
Ed Kernan.
Yes.
Steve Kohanek.
Yes.
Martha Leviton.
No.
Carlos Lopez.
Yes.
Carrie Mock.
Yes.
Bill Meehan.
Yes.
Lisa Masula. Richard Mink. Ralph Morano. Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Nula Daltrey.
Yes.
Ladisla Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Flehan.
Yes.
Jairo Rodriguez. El Romero. Ed Rosenbaum. David Rosario. Lavsang Salaka.
Yes.
Aga Saleh.
Yes.
Marlene Tapa.
Yes.
Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler. Chanel Thomas. Chanel Thomas.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace. Toy Washington Simmons.
Yes.
Ed Wesley.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Next applicant, JIL Restaurant and Sports Bar Incorporated, doing business as Leo's Restaurant and Sports Bar, 8419 Roosevelt Avenue, Jackson Heights. Application for a full liquor license. Motion is, committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premise full liquor license for this applicant, provided that the stipulation has been received stating the hours of operation will be Monday through Wednesday and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Thursday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 4 a.m. Security will be provided from 6 p.m. to closing on Friday through Saturday, and Thursday will be optional based upon need. Alcohol service it's supposed to say will begin after 11 a.m. daily, and alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to closing on a daily basis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, call the question.
Okay, yes is for approval. Alba Buendia.
Yes.
Shiv Das. Yes. Sonia Davis Roberts, yes. Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Margaret Dozier.
Yes.
Lynetta English. Mr. Gandhi. Mr. Gandhi. Pastor Peter Haran.
No.
Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes.
Yes.
Nabaraj KC.
Yes.
Ed Kernan.
No.
Steve Kohanek.
Yes.
Martha Leviton.
No.
Carlos Lopez.
No.
Carrie Mock. Bill Meehan,
Yes.
Lisa Masulam,
Yes.
Richard Mink,
Yes.
Ralph Morano,
Yes.
Veronica Ing,
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons. Nula Daughtry,
Yes.
Ladisla Perez,
Yes.
Dorothy Fleehan,
Yes.
Hyra Rodriguez,
Yes.
Al Romero, Ed Rosenbaum, David Rosario,
Yes.
Lavsang Salaka,
Yes.
Aga Saleh,
Yes.
Marlene Tapper,
Yes.
Frank Taylor,
Yes.
Arthur Tyler,
Yes.
Chanel Thomas, Hamlet Wallace,
Yes.
Toy Washington Simmons,
No.
Ed Wesley.
No.
Okay, looks like it passes.
Next applicant is Las Juanas Restaurante Asadero Corp., 9513 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights, application for a wine and beer license. Motion is, committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premise wine and beer license for this applicant, provided that the stipulation has been received, stating the hours of operation will be 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, and alcohol will not be served until 11 a.m. on a daily basis. Do we have a second? Second. Any discussion? Okay, call the question.
Okay, yes is for approval. Elba Buendia,
Yes.
Shiv Das, Sonia Davis Roberts, yes. Vivian Dopp,
Yes.
Margaret Dozier,
No.
Renetta English,
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi, Pastor Peter Haran, Lorinda Hooks,
No.
Kevin Hughes,
Yes.
Nabaraj KC,
Yes.
Ed Kernan,
Yes.
Steve Kohanek,
Yes.
Martha Leverton,
No.
Carlos Lopez,
Yes.
Carrie Dot Mott,
Yes.
Bill Meehan,
Yes.
Lisa Masulam,
Yes.
Richard Mink,
Yes.
Ralph Morano,
Yes.
Veronica Ing,
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons,
Yes.
Nola Daughtry,
Yes.
Ladisla Perez,
Yes.
Dorothy Fleehan,
Yes.
Hyra Rodriguez,
Yes.
El Romero,
Yes.
Edmund Rosenbaum,
Yes.
David Rosario,
Yes.
Lavsang Salaka,
Yes.
Aga Saleh,
Yes.
Marlene Tapper,
Yes.
Frank Taylor,
Yes.
Arthur Tyler, Chanel Thomas, Hamlet Wallace, Toy Washington Simmons,
Yes.
Ed Wesley.
Yes.
Okay, it passes.
Next applicant is Himalayan Group LLC, doing business as Bamboo House and Bar Incorporated, 7603 37th Avenue, Jackson Heights, application for a full liquor license. Motion is, committee recommends approval of an on-premise full liquor license for this applicant, provided that the stipulation has been received, stating the hours of operation will be 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily. Alcohol service will begin after 11 a.m. daily, and alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to closing on a daily basis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, call the question.
Alba Buendia,
Yes.
Shiv Das, Sonia Davis Roberts, yes. Vivian Dopp,
Yes.
Margaret Dozier,
Yes.
Renetta English,
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi, still out?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Pastor Peter Haran,
No.
Lorinda Hooks,
Yes.
Kevin Hughes,
Yes.
Nabaraj KC,
I cannot vote.
abstain. Ed Kernan,
Yes.
Steve Kohanek,
Yes.
Martha Leverton,
No.
Carlos Lopez, Carrie Dot Mott,
Yes.
Bill Meehan,
Yes.
Lisa Masulam,
Yes.
Richard Mink,
Yes.
Ralph Morano,
Yes.
Veronica Ing,
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons,
Yes.
Nula Daughtry,
Yes.
Legislators Perez,
Yes.
Dorothy Flehan,
Yes.
Howard Rodriguez,
Yes.
Yes.
El Romero, yep, okay. Ed Rosenbaum,
Yes.
David Rosario, Lapsang Salaka,
Yes.
Aga Saleh,
Yes.
Marlene Tapper,
Yes.
Frank Taylor,
Yes.
Arthur Tyler,
Yes.
Chanel Thomas,
Yes.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace, Tory Washington Simmons,
Yes.
Ed Wesley. It passes.
I wasn't called.
Yeah, Ed Wesley.
What'd you put down for me?
I put yes.
I never responded. That's my vote.
Okay. I have what they say?
Okay, next applicant is Uno Cafe and Billiards Incorporated, 7801 to 09 Roosevelt Avenue on the second floor in Jackson Heights. This is a corporate change. Motion is committee recommends disapproval of an application for corporate change for this applicant due to the negative licensing history of the applicant. Do I have a second? Okay, my discussion, just remember, the vote is for a corporate change. The license is already there. It's only regarding the corporate change.
Violations, extensive violations, can you speak to that?
Well, he operates the basement location, which had extensive violations, because this is based upon the principal. The person wants to be added to the license. And he had extensive violations where he had to surrender the license in the basement. And on the second floor, in this location itself, the most recent violation was in a veiling, where himself or someone else was operating the business and was not the licensee of the business at the time.
And that there's no problem with the location, Uno? I've played billiards there in the past, I never noticed anything unruly about the place.
Ed?
So you're saying we're only voting on the corporate name change?
No, the corporate change, the individual who is adding himself to the corporation.
Okay, thank you.
What's the recommendation?
Recommendation is disapproval. Any other discussion? Okay, call the question.
So a yes means to disapprove. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, okay. This should be better. Okay. Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Shiv Das.
Yes.
Sonia Davis Roberts, yes. Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Margaret Dozier.
Yes.
Renetta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Lorinda Hooks.
Yes.
Kevin Hughes.
Yes.
Navaraj KC.
Yes.
Ed Kernan.
No.
Steve Kohanek.
Yes.
Martha Leverton.
Yes.
Carlos Lopez.
Yes.
Carrie Dot Mock.
Yes.
Bill Meehan.
No.
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mink.
Yes.
Ralph Morano.
Yes.
Veronica Ing.
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Nuala Daltrey.
No.
Ladisla Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Flehan.
Yes.
Jairo Rodriguez.
Yes.
El Romero. Ed Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosario.
Yeah.
Lobsang Salaka.
Yes.
Aga Saleh.
Yes.
Marlene Tapper.
Yes.
Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler. Chanel Thomas.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace. Toy Washington Simmons. Ed Wesley.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, everyone. I'd like to thank the Business Echo Committee for doing such a wonderful job. They're there for hours upon hours at the meetings. So please, if you have a moment, please definitely come to their meetings. Thank you, Edmund. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you for the committee. All right, so the next piece of the meeting in your packet, everyone, I just wanted to read a little bit of our chairman's report. It's this one over here. I think it's important. It says, as we celebrate another holiday season, this is from Phil Pappas. It's natural to reflect on our past 12 months and matters pertaining to the community. There's much to consider there. But I just wanted to reach this part, which I thought was key. As chairman, I am so proud of how well Community Board 3 conducts its business. It is no secret that residents are often unsatisfied with their local boards. While no board is perfect, I can tell you that I have frequently received glowing reports and enthusiastic compliments about this board. The accolades come from residents, city agencies, and the offices of elected officials. Terms used by others to describe us include fair, effective, and friendly. From where I sit, this reputation is accurate and well-earned and well-deserved. And I definitely believe in that also. So this is from our chair, District Manager's Report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to be very brief. Catherine Chang, can you please stand up? I bring your attention to Catherine Chang, who has served as a volunteer for this board for over 10 years. On the day of her retirement, she knocked on my door and said, I'd like to volunteer. And she has been doing so for how long? Over 10 years, we agree. She is our lead person in doing the mails. She is expert in doing that. And I just wanted to introduce you and also to say thank you to Catherine. Mr. Jordan Velasquez, can you please stand? Mr. Velasquez joined us in October as an intern from LaGuardia Community College. He will be graduating, I believe, at the end of this semester. The reason I'm drawing your attention to him is because he's been an outstanding intern. There isn't any, Jordan has never said no to anything that he's been asked to do. As a matter of fact, he finished the program over 4 days ago, but he's here. So just to give you an idea of the young man that has been working with us, I'd like to thank you. And lastly, I just want to wish all of you a wonderful holiday season and a wonderful, healthy new year. Thank you.
All right, for a call for a motion for the adoption of the November 15, 2018 monthly minutes. Sorry. You have a change? Okay.
Under the Port Authority project update, it says Terminal B was scheduled to open December. It was actually Concourse B.
Any other changes? They'll noted the change will be made, Chanel. Anyone else comments about the minutes? Motion to adopt. All in favor? All right, so now it's time for committee reports. We call up our nominating committee chair, Ms. Vivian Dock.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to acknowledge and thank members of the nominating committee. Mr. Vasandri Gandhi, just raise your hand as I call your name, please. Mr. Gandhi. Marta Leberton, Richard Mink, Virginia Nig, Veronica, I'm sorry. Fausto Rodriguez, he's not here, and David Rosario. Thank you very much. The nominating committee met Tuesday, December 12th to decide on a slate of candidates for office to be announced at tonight's meeting and voted on by the board at its January 17th meeting. Any board member not on the slate can be nominated for any office from the floor by another board member and second by another board member at the January 17th board meeting. Candidate nominee must accept the nomination. The offices of the board shall be chairperson, first vice chair, second vice chair, secretary, treasurer, and 4 members at large. Officers are elected for a 1-year term. No officer elected may serve more than 3 consecutive terms in the same office and shall not be eligible for re-election to the same office for a period of 2 years. The committee would like to acknowledge and thank Elba Bondia, raise your hand, Elba, for having served 3 consecutive terms as a member at large. The committee would also like to thank Philip Pappas for having served 2 consecutive terms as board chairperson. Due to personal reasons, he could not accept the nomination for a 3rd term. The committee decided on the following slate of candidates for office to be voted on by the board at its monthly meeting January 17, 2019. Chairperson, raise your hand, Renetta English. First Vice Chair, Shaif Das. Second Vice Chair, Edmund Rosenbaum. I told you to raise your hand. Secretary, Kevin Hughes. Treasurer, Dr. Laverne Nimmons. Oh, there she is back there. Okay. Members at large, Sonia Davis Roberts. Where did she go? Leoncio Romero. Frank Taylor. And Hamlet Wallace. Okay, that concludes my report. Thank you all, and happy holiday to everyone.
Marta Lebreton, Parks Chair. Please have the camera directly on her.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. Last month, we heard a presentation from the Department of Parks for the World's Fair Marina design, and I'm asking for a letter of support to support that project. So the motion is to support the redesign and the implementation of the World's Fair Marina project. Do I have a second? A second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Nay, nay.
All right, Traffic and Transportation, Steve. Steve?
That's what I'm not, you have any discussion on that, or? No. No, I'm not in favor of it. Because they're not doing our area. They probably did most of it. They looked at it. They're doing only one.
I've been misbehaving this evening, I apologize. Okay, real fast. One quick thing about street co-namings, then I'll say why I'm here. The street co-naming process typically begins with the city council members. They send us a letter saying that they wish to co-name a street and tell us what the location is. And then we do our bit, we hold a hearing, and we conduct a vote. From there, it goes to the city council. The city council puts it into a local law, and they actually vote on it, and that's how you get the co-naming of a street. But it's a process that begins, typically it's a process that begins with the city council members. Why I'm bringing this up is due to the deeply unfortunate passing of Senator Peralta. A number of board members were interested in the board supporting, asking our city councilman to begin the process of asking us to consider a street co-naming. I would just say that, as Giovanna said, before Jose Peralta was Senator Peralta, before Jose Peralta was Assemblyman Peralta, Jose Peralta was a member of Community Board 3. And that's why a number of the longtime board members would very much like to see the city councilman take the step of an appropriate honor for the senator. What I would like is the authority of the board to send letters to our city council members asking them to consider an appropriate honor in memory of Senator Peralta.
Second.
Yes. So has this been brought up to the councilman yet? I could not say if it has or has not. That would be a question for him or his representative. Usually the whole process just starts with them, they say, but just given the circumstances of this, a number of board members wanted us to take the initiative and say, we would welcome your letter for this. So okay, so agreed that we will do that. Having said all that, I wish everybody a happy holidays. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Again, I'm the chair of the Youth Services Committee.
And I'm Lisa Masul, I'm the chair of the Education Committee.
And I'd like to report that we had a very successful 2018 community giving project. We collected over 1,000 items. We packed our items at Regal Heights on December 15th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. We had over 25 volunteers. There were 6 community board members in attendance. Remember, we have over 40. I'd like to thank Marta, Vivian, Frank, Ed, Elba, and the district manager for attending. And I'd also like to just reiterate where we gave items. We gave to St. Mark's AME Church, St. Mark's Lion Share Pantry in Jackson Heights, Iglesia Cristiana Levantando Hombres de Valor on Corona. In Corona, and everyone was very, very appreciative. You'll get an official report in your packet next month. So again, thank you to Regal Heights, National Association of University Women, IS 230, Fort Prep Academy. They were so generous, and they had so many volunteers. Kiwanis East Elmers, Jackson Heights Beautification Group, Ditmars Boulevard Block Association, and City Mission in Elmhurst. Again, thank you, Ed, and thank you, Frank, for being our truck drivers. We really, really appreciate all of you. Thank you. All right. Do you have anything else to say?
Happy holidays.
All right. Oh, yes, please heal soon. Committee referrals. Borough President report. Followed by the legislators report. So if you can just line up and just do right one behind the other, please. Right over here.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, I'm Lisa Atkins here on behalf of Queensborough President Melinda Katz. On behalf of the Borough President, I want to wish each and every one of you a safe and healthy and glorious holiday season. The Borough President wants you to know that she appreciates all the hard work that you do, because we know that you work during the day, you have families, and you find the time to give back to your community. And for that, most deepest thanks, and we look forward to working with you in the new year. God bless.
Hi again. My name is Ki Bin Yi, representing Councilmember Daniel Dromm. Councilmember regretted that he couldn't make it tonight. He's a bit under the weather. But on behalf of Councilmember, I wish you happy holidays. I wish you a healthy, safe, and wonderful new year, and to you and all your families. Thank you.
Any other legislators' reports? And I see one of our old friends here, Gary, so it's nice to see you, Gary. Yes, so I think we're about finished. Anything else? Yes, one comment. Come on up, please.
Good evening. Couple of quick announcements. As we're in the peak holiday season, just anyone traveling the airport, please leave extra time. As of this Monday through the new year, the LaGuardia Link Q70 bus will be free for passengers. So I know Steve especially likes to hear that. So that's in effect currently. Also, we have extended the Vaughn College Scholarship. It is now due January 10th. So if you know of any high school seniors, it is a full scholarship in addition to paid internships each summer, as well as guaranteed employment with the Port Authority upon graduation. Last but not least, the Council for Airport Opportunity has opened a local office in our community at Elmcore Youth and Adult Activities on 108th Street and Northern Boulevard. Job opportunities, there's someone there from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Have a safe and happy holiday. Thanks.
Thank you, Chanel. Any other questions or any other comments? Any other announcements? Enjoy your holiday, everyone. Have a safe holiday. See you in 2019. Please enjoy all of our refreshments. Thanks again.